Now, different states and jurisdictions use different means to select a foreperson of the jury. In some jurisdictions, the jurors select their own foreperson. In Massachusetts, the judge is responsible for selecting a foreperson. A foreperson of a jury has been described as the first among equals. He or she is responsible for organizing the deliberations, communicating with the court if necessary during deliberations, and presenting the verdict following your deliberations. The foreperson has no greater say or vote in the jury's deliberations, however, in that sense is exactly equal with all the jurors. I am going to ask juror in seat number 1, juror number 400, would you be our foreperson, please, sir? Thank you. When you return to the jury room to deliberate, the court officers will deliver to you all of the exhibits in this case, as well as the verdict slips that you will use in returning your verdict. Your foreperson will be given verdict slips setting forth the charges against the defendant. 12 jurors must agree before you have a decision as to any charge. That means that to find the defendant guilty, all 12 must agree. To find the defendant not guilty, all 12 must agree. You should continue deliberating until you have reached a final verdict on each charge. You should not begin deliberating until all 12 jurors are together in the jury room, and should cease deliberating if any one juror is not present in the jury room. It is important that you not communicate with anyone outside the jury room about the deliberations or about anything concerning this case.
And more than that, I should note that the communication by the jury in that final note to the court about the impasse didn't really give any indication that they had made conclusions about separate charges. Rather, it basically said, we're stuck, and we don't think that we can get unstuck. Specifically, this is what the jury said.
All right, Mr. Foreman, I am in receipt of your note. Judge Cannoni, despite our rigorous efforts, we continue to find ourselves at an impasse. Our perspectives on the evidence are starkly divided. Some members of the jury firmly believe that the evidence surpasses the burden of proof, establishing the elements of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Conversely, others find the evidence fails to meet this standard and does not sufficiently establish the necessary elements of the charges. The deep division is not due to a lack of effort or diligence, but rather a sincere adherence to our individual principles and moral convictions. To continue to deliberate would be futile and only serve to force us to compromise these deeply held beliefs. I'm not going to do that to you folks. Your service is complete. I'm declaring a mistrial in this case. I'll be in to see you privately in a few minutes. So thank you so much for your service. Okay.
All rise for the court, please.
Now, note that the foreman here said that some of the members of the jury firmly believed that the evidence surpassed the burden of proof establishing the elements of the charges beyond reasonable doubt, and that other members of the jury felt that it did not meet the burden of proof. We have to admit the plain meaning of that language, the understanding that basically all of us had in real time watching this, was that they were stuck on all of the charges, including charge 1 and charge 3.